Yeah, so I'm basically just carrying where I left off, carrying from where I left off yesterday. Just doing some skin of some ogres. Just trying to just get the initial base coat down. I stopped about four or five, I think, yeah. And it went alright. That was my second stream, so today is my third stream, but I'm not going to be streaming for too long today. Hoping I can get the majority of this base coat down, and then I'm going to make a start on the metallics. And then that'll be like all the main colours that I need to get down. Obviously I need to do some levers as well. God damn, that's in the way. I'll just put there. Might be a little bit better. So I'm just using Rackar Flesh at the moment. Just doing a nice solid coat. And then I don't tend to use any washes when I paint. I was talking about it yesterday, but I tend to I've been making my own washes. When I say I don't use washes, I mean pre-made washes. I tend to try and make my own just because it's fun. Obviously it's like learning a new skill. I have just went over the red, so we have to clean that back up. There's another thing I was talking about, just being neat, or as neat as possible, where you can. That's what I try to do, just because I don't like creating a mess and then having to go back and clear it all up. It gets quite annoying. I don't know how this, if this is actually good or not. Is that too dark? I don't know. That's too dark. It's way too bright. It's also too bright. That is too bright. I guess that is okay, but I don't know. Where is my camera? Looking at. Is it working? There we go. That's the one. I think this should be okay. For I don't know. Is it? No, if you have to pull it quite close. I think that's good. I think I'll leave it there for now. Let's get that with my install manager. I will just close that because I'm not restarting right now. I start the stream. So just quickly throw some paint over this guy. Yeah, I definitely feel like, is it clear? It doesn't feel too clear. It looks clear in the camera, but on the stream it doesn't look that clear. That looks a bit clearer, but it still seems like it's... I guess I'll just leave it like that. And then try keep it in focus, which I'm not too good at. Damn it. I think this paintbrush is a bit too big. I figured I'll just get a biggest paintbrush so I can quickly get all the base coats down, but it's not seeming to be that easy. when I first started, I remember, well, first started painting Warhammer. When I got back into the hobby, I remember just using like tiny brushes to paint, thinking it would be a lot easier, but it took so long because I was obviously trying to do like the whole body with I can't remember what size. I wasn't using like a 000, but I was using very small brushes, and it was just taking time. It was taking so much time. So I haven't really experimented with like big brushes. Like this is a size 9, whatever that means in paint terms. I think the highest I've gone up to is like, what I usually use is around, I don't even know. What's this one? I don't even know what that one is. What's this? 2. Size 2 is what I usually use. This is a size 9 or 6. I think it's 9. Judging by the wait, let's have a look. No, it's a 6, size 6 or 9. So it's definitely sped things up, but I'm not too sure on it. I think this is a bit overkill, to be honest. But I just wanted to try it, you know, give it a go. But it's definitely not one to use for any fine details. That would be silly. Ever so silly. But I'm still not too fond of this music. It's not the worst. I like it, but I don't know if I want to listen to it constantly. But it's one of those one of those playlists that aren't copyrighted, and I know YouTube can be very, very funny about copywriting and all that sort of stuff. So I figured if I just play this, then there shouldn't be any issues with copywriting and any strikes on the channel. I know Twitch is a little bit different. I am streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. So I'll actually want to see how Twitch actually really works, because I have no idea about Twitch. But I would like to preferably grow my YouTube rather than start on Twitch, but I figured if I'm streaming on one, I might as well stream on both, then get some crossover potentially. Whether that happens or not, I have no idea. I don't know how easy it is to push streams out on Twitch, and even for that matter on YouTube. I don't really see too many people live on YouTube from the people that I follow. But again, I will be doing streams fairly frequently for the majority of the week, the later week anyway. I'm still going to work it out. I'm going to give it a go over the next few weeks / months. I also need to continue working on trying to make some videos, which I will be doing. clear this is. That's still fairly decent. I'm gonna have some fun painting these goddamn eyes and face. This helmet, jeez. That's tiny little gaps going on there. I'm a big fan of these models. Although they're fairly old, I do really like them, and I like the amount of skin and like the sort of structure of their body. And how they're sculpted. Definitely some little tricky bits. I'm just gonna whack in a bunch of paint. Sort that out later. Need to get the eyes, I think. That's the main part. It's kind of tricky. The rest of it, bandages or whatever it is across his face, I have no idea. I still feel like I'm hiding away behind the camera, although I have bought a new camera. Got a new webcam. Should be coming today. It still looks very bright, but hopefully that'll dull down soon because I am gonna be doing throwing over some wash or some, I don't know, something over the top of him, so it sort of dulls it down a bit. Maybe some contrast. Although yesterday I was going off saying I hate contrasts, but I kind of want to try it after speaking about it yesterday. I know it's like one of those things where talk about it and I'm like, is it really that bad? So I think I need to go remind myself why I hate them. But I don't want to. I might try it on one and then see how it goes. Okay, pretty happy. That's fairly solid layer on top. Some skin. Quickly just go around the head a bit more. Do that bit of the shoulder down here. Happy with that one. We can go to the side and do the big dog, the Frost Lord. Get this one on the go. I'm not sure when my new camera should be coming, but I look forward to getting it and trying it out. Hoping it'll actually be fairly better than using this DSLR. DSLR is alright, but it's not the best for streaming anyway. for making videos with, that's what I usually make for, or use for making videos. It's actually alright. But I'm coming up with some ideas for new videos that I want to do. I want to try do some like challenges, potentially get them out and like start a community challenge or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool. It's just getting it out there. It's the difficult part, getting people to watch and also join in with it. Whether that's going to be partly on YouTube / Instagram or something along those lines. Not really sure what I want to do yet for it, but I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be fun to like. I want to make it obviously accessible for everyone, so it might just be like a theme of something. But I might just do that further down the line once I get re-established doing YouTube again, because it's been a while. It's been a few months since I've actually posted anything. So I might just have to wait a little bit. This is bone, that's going to be fur. I don't know what it is around. Yeah, still fur around his neck, isn't it? I guess I'll just be doing that. Oh, I've done all the red. Just need to do skin tones and then, yeah, as I said, make a start on the metallics. And then maybe the fur, or should I do the fur first and then metallics? Maybe fur and leather. No, I think I'll stick with the metallics. It depends. I also need to do the bone as well. That's very watery. It is fairly warm today, so these models should dry fairly quickly. So I shouldn't have to wait too long to obviously continue doing extra layers. Although you want to try avoid doing extra layers on wet paint, as you can cause some like texture build up and sort of keep disturbing the paint as it's setting, and yeah, it's not the best. But as a usually want to leave it, but as it is warm, I'm sort of just throwing paint everywhere. Getting that layer down. Just going over it again, like not instantly, but fairly close to instantly. It's not close to instantly. What am I talking about? Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing the contrasts, to be honest, for this. I was thinking about it, but yeah, like I said, I went over multiple points yesterday of why I don't like contrasts. Hey Rick, how's it going? Basically going from where I left off yesterday. Just continuing on with skin tones, well, getting the base of the skin tones down, and then I was going to start on the metallics, do some silvers, maybe some bronzes, so I can get these ready for next Saturday. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I had to do quite a lot of stuff today, so I've been fairly busy. Yeah. I was meant to come on at 12, like roughly around 12, but obviously didn't. But yeah, I mean, I'm alright. Too bad. The weather is getting to me again. It's too hot. Almost finished with this one. I can move on to the others. But I checked out your channel, by the way, yesterday. I really like it, and the Vikings model. I didn't realize you can even get, like, I know you called it Lagertha, but it actually did look like Lagertha. I didn't realize you can actually get Viking models. I wonder if you can actually get the actual characters from Vikings. But I mean, that Lagertha model looked fairly close to it, and looked pretty damn good condition. So I might actually look into them, because I love Vikings. That TV show, so damn good. Well, the first 4 seasons, I wasn't a fan of. Well, I still watched them. I still did really like them, but there's just the first 4. Ragnar was just the absolute peak. They were definitely my favorite. So I might have to have a look and try find some about. Ooh, damn. Second code down. Hopefully that'll be a bit more solid. Okay. Sounds pretty cool. Definitely want to check that out. So I was thinking of entering a painting competition. One of the I found on Etsy, but they weren't anything like. They were just like some random Viking models, and I wanted one of like Bjorn or something, or Ragnar, but obviously I couldn't find any. I was only looking on Etsy though. I wasn't actually looking. I didn't search Google. I just think Etsy because it's obviously supporting smaller creators. I didn't want to just. I mean, to be fair, if it's a good model, it's a good model, so I'd probably want to buy it. But yeah, I just figured. I didn't really think to look to see if there was like an official like Vikings manufacturer of miniatures or something like that, something along those lines. But all I found was some basically like cool looking Viking people or like models, busts, but I wanted something more along the lines of actual, like the TV show Vikings, one of the characters specifically. And that's what I wanted to enter. I've wanted to do not Cult of Paint. The Iron Skull, which I think is Siege Studios painting competition. That's the one I wanted to enter, and that's what I wanted to do for it, but I haven't actually done that yet. But maybe potentially with this bust or whatever, once you find it. Oh, I've gone over the wrong issues of using a big brush. Well, that is, call that one done for now. 3 out of 6. Moving quickly. I'm not even painting on the goddamn camera. It's made it too small. Maybe if I zoom out a little bit. Not zooming it in. Yeah, I think that's probably better. Let's try that. This is the one thing that I don't like about these models, is they're very like monopose. They all look like fairly similar, whereas got that both arms like very close together and up. Nuts Planet Shield Maiden 100% over. I will check that out. Let's have a look. Can't type. Oh my god, this is not going well. Let's click on it. That is the one. Hell yeah. Oh, is this American? Yeah, dollars. Damn it. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool model. Bust. Oh, I just painted my hand. It's El Greco Miniatures. UK. 2 left. Ooh, maybe. I actually might get this. I do wanna. Oh, someone's actually painted it as well. Someone on YouTube. Painting Buddha. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like the model. I wonder, do they do... I'll look for anything else. Why is their website like this? Oh my god. Shop. They've got a I can't even remember what it's called. It's like the Captain something movie. Where they get taken over by pirates. That guy, that's pretty cool. Damn, they got a lot actually. They got all sorts. William Wallace. They got Odin as well. That's pretty cool. Oh, they've got the dude from Pirates of the Caribbean. I can't remember his name. Captain Barbosa, I think is the one. Yeah, that's really cool. I like this page. Or shop even. Got some Game of Thrones stuff going on. Jon Snow. That's really cool. I like it. I'm gonna save that page. And then potentially I might get that into. I can't remember when the competition is. I think it's in May sometime. So I might have to step up my game and get some painting real quick. Let's see. Make up these bits as well. That's annoying. Well, I guess if I just quickly throw some paint, clean it up afterwards. Bothered about it. No, I need to conserve my money at the moment, so I'm trying to, which hasn't actually happened in the last few days. I've been buying quite a lot of stuff. I actually I did buy a webcam last night, so it should be coming today. Got off at Amazon. I just found one. I wanted one that had like two mounts where I could mount it on something, and then it has like a screw on it. So I found one of those, which was decent quality. So hopefully that should be good. I don't know how good it's going to be for like miniatures and stuff, but I'm hoping it will be okay for it, because it has some variable zooms on it. So we'll see. But if I do get anything off that site, it might have to be Lagertha or the Shield Maiden. But I do like how they've done like a lot of other models from other like sort of movie franchises. How the hell do I get into here? What have I done? I really hate painting like fully built models. It's so difficult sometimes, especially with like some of the gaps that you have to barely like even. I am using a huge paintbrush for this, which is kind of stupid, which I'm probably gonna switch over in a minute, but I just wanted to, since it's like I'm doing like large areas, I figured I might as well just use a bigger brush and get more paint down. Well, that was my theory, or what I had in mind, but I don't know if it'd be just been quick with me using a little bit smaller, not as big as this one. But this one is seeming kind of tricky to actually get in all the gaps. So I'm just trying to get there where I can. Not that anyone's actually going to notice this besides me, if I were to miss it, but I don't like to leave stuff that I've spotted. They'll just annoy me. I don't know why. Maybe I adjusted my... Can you hear me? Well, I don't want to be sitting right. Is that any better if I'm just talking like this? Hopefully this is louder. Audio. Maybe I can bump up the... Bump it up a little bit. Does that any better? I don't know how long it takes for these messages to come through. I don't know. I don't think they're instant because I think the stream is slightly delayed on my end, or I don't know, whoever's end. I don't know if it's the music. I don't know if I turned up the music too loud. That's all good then. Beautiful stuff. Get these bits done. Yeah, I'm gonna need a smaller brush to get into these these areas. I kind of want to break off his arm, but I glued it all together with plastic glue, and I'm not too fond about breaking models that have been glued together with plastic glue. It just doesn't work. Well, it does work, but it just breaks them in weird places, I usually find. How would you make an ogre more dwarfy? Asking because I want to make a more tribalist based on a man-eater tribe that's working for a mainly dwarven human free city. To be honest, I'm not the biggest AOS person. I just like a lot of their models, so I don't really know like lore and stuff, but obviously with dwarves, they like axes and hammers and things. They do kind of like their helmets are, I guess no, they're not very dwarven-y. I mean, maybe just add, yeah, just get some like axes. I don't know if Lord of the Rings has, or even Old World. Let's have a look. Old World might have some good bits that you could throw on, because I know they announced all their dwarven-y bits. Dwarven mountain holds. What do they have? Yeah, hammers and axes. A lot of hair. A lot of if you've done much on in terms of like sculpting, you could do like, I guess you don't really want to make them like look like dwarves because they're ogres. I guess you want more of the just like accessories of dwarves. But I mean, from what I can tell, in the dwarves for Old World, they have a lot of like jewelry in their beards. So I mean, these guys don't even really have much hair going on, so that doesn't really help. The shields, maybe you could throw on some shields. I mean, these guys have got the stomachs. You could potentially instead of, I don't know. I was thinking maybe you could like, if you, wait, I can't even see what I'm doing on stream. So for like the stomach, basically man-eaters, ogres, mercenaries, meeting coin. Okay, so I was gonna say maybe you could what's the word? Like shave, not shave. File down. Yeah, dwarven tattoos is a good idea. You could like file down like their stomach plates and then maybe sculpt or replace it with a like dwarven shield, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that would work. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. It doesn't sound like that great of an idea. But yeah, I mean weapons mainly, I'd say. Like you could replace their, because I can see they've got guns, so you could replace like their hand pistols. Obviously some of these, they're quite large. Could replace them with what they use. I'm looking at some old world dwarf engineers. They've got some hand pistols and some large, very large hammers. So potentially something like that. I also have the, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the, what is this? Get the hell out of here. You could maybe replace like the big cannon weapon or like the scrap launcher with like a dwarven cannon or like a trebuchet thing that they use. That would probably be my advice, but again, I'm not that big or that knowledgeable on dwarves and that sort of things, and even ogres, to be honest. I mean, there is, what's the, so are you talking about, I don't know what the dwarves are called in AOS. Let me have a look. Order Caradron Overlords. Are you talking about like actual dwarves? Because I know there's them. You could, because I don't know any of the names of anything in AOS. They're all so different and weird. But yeah, the models are awesome. But yeah, if you do go for it and have a go at like sculpting or doing any of that, let me know if you jump in again. But thanks for joining anyway, and thanks for being in the stream. I appreciate it. Currently just getting some base coats down. So at the moment, how do you paint your ogres? Or so do you actually have any at the moment, or anything like that? Disappointed, dispossessed, and Caradron Overlords are the ones most of AOS. Oops. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Caradron Overlords. They got some really cool models, but in general, I'm not a big fan of the vibe or the sort of theme of them being like all mechanical and stuff. I'm kind of sad that they moved all of old world stuff and got rid of all of that, because I really like all the old world stuff. It's just none of my friends really play old world or anything, and I don't want to have to go and buy like a bunch more models for something that I'm never really gonna use. But I do have, I've got these ogres, and I've also got some Soulblight Gravelords. But I'm definitely on the ogre side just because of the fewer models to paint. With the with the Soulblight Gravelords, I think I've got like 120 zombies, and They aren't getting done anytime soon. Absolutely not. I wanted to make like a zombie horde army, and in theory, it is very fun in my head, but painting them all, absolutely not. There's also the Fire Slayers. Who are the Slayer Kosovo's? Don't have them yet, but the color scheme. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I actually really like them, but one of my friends actually said that they might be getting a updated release, updated models, because apparently some of those are very, very old. I know they got a couple of newer models, because I was actually going to get them before I got Ogor Mawtribes, because I know they're quite elite, quite an elite army. And I wanted to like learn how to paint flesh properly, and since they're pretty much mostly flesh or skin, that's what I was kind of going to go for. Personally, I like the skeletons more than the zombies for Soulblight Gravelords. Yeah, you got more options, definitely, for skeletons. Especially with the new Gravelord, they look really cool. Graveguard even, not Gravelord. But I just wanted like a horde, like zombie army. I thought that'd be really cool because I painted up. I can't remember what his name is. He's the. I was gonna get the other one, so I bought. What the hell's his name? The zombie watcher or keeper with the big spade, and that's basically, he was gonna be like my main point of the army, and just tons of zombies around him with a zombie dragon is what I was gonna go for. But I'm just not that big of a fan of painting bone, so I never really wanted to do skeletons. Although I can't remember what they called, the Underworld kill, well, not kill team, the Underworld. That cost now ridiculous prices on eBay. Their models are so good. I can't remember what they're called, and I've looked for them for so long, but I'm not paying like 80, 90 quid for like 5 models that are just skeletons. Like, that's just not happening. I can't remember what their name is though, but they're such cool models. Almost there with this one, and then I've got 2 more. I need to go over the other Frostlord. I have no idea what they are. Honestly, when you put it like that. Let me have a look. Let's see if I can find the ones I'm talking about. So I'm really terrible with AOS names. I don't play enough of it. I think my last game was in September of last year, and I've only played like 2 or 3 games, and that's with against Stormcast Eternals and against Chaos. Slaves to Darkness. That's the one. Let's see if I can. Can't I spell? Sons of Velmorn are the ones that I've wanted for so long. Sons of Velmorn. I've wanted them for a very long time. You obviously can't get them anymore. I don't know why they do limited releases of Underworld stuff. It's, for me personally, obviously scalpers, come in and buy it all up and then sell them on. It's ridiculous, and I absolutely hate it. Scalpers just in general, for like anything, but in particular Warhammer just sucks. Like all the new battle boxes and stuff that you can get, it's just not good. But I'll quickly have a look about the other ones. Let's see. Would it be them? The Warcry team looks pretty cool. Like the vampire Ascurian Guard, Ascorian True Blades. That'll be the one. They look fairly cool. I bet not actually. I'm gonna stop looking because it makes me want to get more of them. Like AOS is such, their models are just so good. I mean, if you look on eBay, it's basically the only way really, and they're just going to be stupidly expensive. So it kind of sucks. It really does. I wish they just released more, or didn't do it for limited waves. How many teams do you have? Or not teams, but just armies? And is it only AOS that you collect, or do you dabble in some 40k, Lord of the Rings, or other Star Wars? The Iron Golems are just cool. Corvid Colts, Suffery Zinchi, and the Spire Tyrants. That's such a vibe. I might know the models, but the names, I have no idea what names they are. Let's have a look again. I'm interested. I do actually like the, is it the Jade? Oh, I can't remember what they are. Am I thinking of, I might actually be thinking of a different game. There's like some Jade people. That might be like the, let's have a look. More bands. From here. Just a blood army due to lack of funds. Yeah, it's getting pretty pricey. I feel like they're going to be putting up the prices again, or they have done recently, I don't know. Jade Obelisk. Yeah, I like the Jade Obelisk ones. And the Canite Shadow Stalkers, I think they look really cool. Oh yeah, they're cool, the Spire Tyrants. I like them. They're very cool. So they, I'm guessing they're basically out of stock everywhere. Yeah. Are they, were they like the first, like you mentioned, first wave ones? Yeah, no longer distributed by Games Workshop. That sucks. Yeah, they're cool. It's like a mixture. Just all chaos. I love chaos. I think chaos is one of my favorite factions. There's so much like variety to them. To them all, you got so many like cool little like symbols and things that you can throw on them. You can obviously do them how you want. You can change them, like add some what's it called, like sculpting to them to make them more like Zinchi or Slaneshi or Korn or Nurgly. Like some of the what are they called? Like kit bashes and stuff people have done, or even just like sculpting. Like I don't know if you've ever seen the. There's a tank. I can't remember what chaos got it is under, but there was a tank and it had like a eye on it, and it was just very very gory. And I think that's probably one of my favorite like models that someone's done. It just looks so cool, and the way that they've added it in, like just the massive eye on the side of the tank, is just awesome. I'd love to do something like that, but I don't know if I would be able to without some guidance. Damn, I can't get into this bit. Well, just proved myself wrong there. And the hardcore wind spirit. Mainly due to is that the thing that like the spiral thing? Or am I thinking of the wrong model? I know there's one with like a bow like up in the air and it was like a spiral. Or is that Sylvanev? No, that's definitely the one I'm thinking of. Is definitely. I think I saw the vid. It was for Death Guard. Yeah, yeah, it's so cool. Such a good model. It's very cool how they've done it as well. Hopefully I can get this done. I'm currently preparing for a game next Saturday, so I'm just trying to get all the base colors down. The big bow, that. Yeah, that's the model. Yeah, that's a very cool model. I think it's one of my favorite, one of my friends' favorite models. I'm not actually sure what my favorite AOS model would be, to be honest. There's so many. I think it's quite what's the word? I feel like it's quite a cop-out answer, but I don't think it's my favorite, but it's definitely up there. It's the Nurgle Deathbringer. It's like the dude on the horse who has like the big Reaper blade. But other than that, I can't think of a specific model that I really love of AOS. They're all, honestly, all the new ones that are coming out just look so good. And some of the new old world stuff that got mentioned, Grand Cafe, I don't know how to say it. Some of their models just look awesome. But are you working on anything particular at the moment, or like preparing to do anything? Like a specific army or painting a specific army? I want 15 wind spirits. I want to make into a spirit of Gur, and the rest is wind spirits proper. Don't actually know what the spirit of Gur is. Sorry, I'm really bad with AOS stuff. What is going on with my computer? Spirit of Gur. Okay, almost done with the flesh. I've got one more to do, I think. And I will be... just be the given clause. That sounds pretty damn cool. Hell yeah. I think that's why I like AOS. It's just like, well, one is fantasy, and I love fantasy. I just really wish I knew more of the lore and stuff. I literally don't know anything of any of the lore. I think I started reading like I read a horror book, but it wasn't that horror-y, so I was kind of like meh. But I've read a lot of like 40k, 30k stuff, but I definitely want to know, like, learn more of AOS. I just love like lore of everything, like fantasy wise. I love it all. It's so good. I just need to obviously know more and actually put in the effort to learn it and read it. I just need to do his arm properly. Do his hands. I think I'm gonna call this one done for now, and then I'll get back to him later to do the metallics. Quickly jump back onto this guy, do his neck. Not that anyone's actually gonna see it. Actually, is a question. Is okay, we're all good. Thousand Psalms, that's closely inferred. Mine is Emperor's Children. So when I first got back into the hobby, which was like 2021-ish, I read the Horus Heresy books. And whenever I read a Horus Heresy book, I feel like I immediately start liking that faction, and I'm like, okay, I want to collect this faction. But one that stuck with me was Emperor's Children from Fulgrim. I absolutely love that book, and Lucius is just one of my favorite characters, which is weird because most people hate him. But I absolutely love him, and I like the Emperor's Children like characters like Tarvitz and how they like interact with Slaanesh and obviously Fulgrim, and obviously them coming out fairly recently. I got the battle box, or the battle force, and then I also got the Fulgrim, him being out also fairly recently. So I'm absolutely loving that. I just need to get some time to paint them. But I'm going to start painting them after I've had my game of AOS on next Saturday. And then I'm probably going to start doing like a stream of painting them. But yeah, Emperor's Children are my Chaos favorite. I like the Thousand Suns and Iron Warriors because they speak to me as an autistic person. Why is that? Why is that? I don't know. I'm torn between them. Because I really like the Iron Warriors. Like I like their silver, and I like doing the hazard stripes. I actually done. What did I paint of them? Oh, I done. I'll quickly go get it. Actually, I'll show you what I've done. 2 seconds. So I have so many armies. Well, not armies, but I just like to paint like a lot of different variety of things. So this one, I can't actually remember what the hell the name of this is. But it is my... what are they called? Forge Fiend. That's the one. Yeah, so I painted this guy like a while ago. The hazard lines aren't the best because I kind of just done it very, very quickly just to try to get it done, because I was like, again, I was playing it in a game, but I think it turned out fairly good. I'm pretty happy with it, and I like the sort of OSL that I've done on it as well. But this is one of the models that I've done. I've also done, I think I've done like Havoc, like one Havoc, and I've basically spread out. Whenever I paint something, I don't like to paint like a whole army as a whole army. If that makes sense. I like to split them out and do like different factions depending on what I want to paint. I always have like an itch to paint something like that's different, and I find it very boring to paint the same thing over and over and over again. But Iron Warriors wanting respect, but felt like they couldn't ask for it until it was too late. 1,000 Suns, the road to hell is part of good intentions as they have the red card. Yeah. Did Magnus do anything wrong? I'm just gonna quickly go put this model back. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I think to play, I think I'd definitely pick 1,000 Suns over Iron Warriors, just because I feel like they've got. I don't know if you play that much, but well, they used to have quite a lot of stuff you could do, and then they removed all of. I always forget my words. God damn it! They removed all of the magic. I can't remember what it's called. In 10th, so that sucks. And I really wish they'd just add it back, just because it was just so much fun doing like little shenanigans and stuff. One of my friends used to collect, well, he still does collect 1,000 Suns. What did you think of the new model of 1,000 Suns, like the robot looking thing? I thought it was very monopose, not the best. I feel like 40k models are just not hitting the right place. Besides, well, I'm still not that big of a fan of the Space Wolves that just came out, or the new models that were shown of Space Wolves. I'm still not I wanted to do a Space Wolf army. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just not... I'm trying to stay away from getting all of like the FOMO stuff, because I feel like I was stuck in that for a while, and that's why I've got so many models and things. Because it's like every single week there's something new being released, and I want to kind of get out of that habit of being like, oh, this looks so cool, I want to paint it, and then just having it in like my backlog and just never actually getting around to painting it. So I'm trying to avoid that at all costs. So I'm trying to not hate on everything that comes out, but just be like, actually be truthful and be like, okay, yeah, I'm not feeling this model that much, but you know, instead of being like, hell yeah, let's get this model and paint it. I don't really want to do that. But to answer your question, yes, Emperor's Children for the traitors, and then for the loyalists, I'm not actually too sure about the loyalists. I think it might actually be Crimson Fists, just because I like their color scheme and I like Pedro Cantor. I actually got his model a while ago, but I've not actually painted it. I bought it off eBay because that's the only place I could find it. It was actually fairly cheap for being out of manufacturing or whatever it's called. What other models have I painted? Dark Krakens. Oh no, Salamanders. Yeah, I think if I'm looking at actual Space Marine Legions, it would have to be Salamanders. For the loyalists anyway. So I used to have a Salamanders army, and then I got rid of it. And then I'd start doing like a Dark Krakens, which is like a branch from the Salamanders. Can't think of the word again. Can't believe I just done that. Why am I still painting with this big old brush? Should have stopped painting with it a long time ago. But I keep going. Gonna have to come clean all this stuff up again. I need to go get the door. I'll be back. Just a sec. I have a small backlog because I want to use rattle cans to prime, but I need to tarp first. Yeah, I live in... Sorry, I'm just going to quickly open something. Yeah, I live in a flat, so I don't actually get to rattle can that much. Plus, I've actually stopped rattle canning or using rattle cans just because it's quite expensive, and I find like the majority of rattle cans, if it's not, I know you can get the what is it called? They're a new, well, not really like a new brand, but they do some quite good paints I've heard, and a lot bigger than what GW sell. But I've just been using my airbrush just to prime. Phobos, 2 Invicto suits, a box of infiltrators, 2 Phobos. You know what? I actually really like all of that. The Invicta suits are so cool. I really like them. And I like the Phobos units. I think they're pretty cool. But I have a very wide range of backlogs, so... But it's good that you keep it down, at least. It is definitely good. But I just got a new webcam because I wanted to try this instead of using my DSLR. It literally just came, so I might... Yeah. I've tried like a different variety of cheaper primers, but they just never came out correctly, or they just never came out well. Like I had one that was like half matte and half gloss. Sometimes it would come out matte, sometimes it would come out gloss. I shook them up exactly the same way, like each time, like the same amount of time. I always got like different results with it. It was very, very weird. But I mean, it is what it is. Like I don't use it anymore. I use AK, this stuff. And this is, so it's super, super matte. And it comes out, obviously, as you can see, like from this guy, like it's fairly good. It's fairly good stuff. Oop. So I'm just trying to figure out how to set up this new camera. I kind of want to give it a go now, but you know what, I'll see how long this camera battery's got. It's 2 bars on it, but it's feeling quite warm. Not entirely sure whether I want to use it or not. That goes here. I wonder. You know what? I'll do this later on. I'll test it out later. For now, I'll just continue painting. But I'm definitely feeling the heat today. It is getting to me a bit. I always seem to paint everything like in a red scheme if I don't have a particular like faction or scheme in mind, it always just goes straight to red. I think it's because I find it I enjoy painting red, so I think that's why I choose it. The hell? It's a big old bit of paint on there. Whew, hopefully I can just get through this quite quickly. How long have we got? Warhammer, Lego, and Pokemon are my current ASD. Hyperfixation is the reason I don't have more of them. There's no job. Also, if you're a Brit, really insulated building construction isn't doing. Yeah, I am. I also live in a flat, and my flat gets quite warm in the winter. Just because everyone obviously has. I live in like a middle flat, so people obviously underneath, their heat rises, then it comes up into ours, and I live in like a. I don't really have to explain it, but it's like a block, but it's like a enclosed area. So the wind that we get is very. I can create a cross breeze. Like if I open one side and the other, like the windows, but it's not very good. It doesn't really work. So my flat it either stays like super cool or gets like super warm. Like there's some places in my flat, because I'm not actually under anything, it does stay quite cool, but everywhere else gets super warm. So it's not fun. But yeah, I am also no longer in a job. I decided to quit fairly recently, I think middle of April. So I'm trying to save my funds. I'm actually going back to uni in September, and I wanted to do some studying and stuff beforehand. I used to be a web developer, and now I'm no longer that. But I'm going back to uni to do a computer science master's. Well, not specifically computer science, but that's what that's what I'm going back for a master's. Multiple reasons why I quit, but I won't get into them. But yeah, definitely enjoy it. Well, it sort of depends, really, what financial state you are. I think I was talking to Rick, who was in the chat yesterday. I was saying like how it was going to be like my last summer to enjoy, so I'm just trying to enjoy it. What better to do than to paint in the heat? But I definitely will be going out and doing stuff throughout the summer, while I don't have to worry about work or anything. But I was also mentioning how I like it a lot cooler. Like, I like the cold temperatures. I'm not a big fan of the heat. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Like these jobs, it's just like the thing is with these part-time retail jobs, it's either they've gotten so out of control where you need to sit through like a 3 hour or like a full day of like interviews and group sessions or group interview and that sort of thing, or they'll want you to do like a free trial shift, like if you go on to if you try to work at a bar or something. It is ridiculous. Like you need to do a trial shift where you don't get paid. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I kind of want when I go to uni, like just to get a small part-time job, just anywhere really. That's going to be retail. But yeah, I mean jobs right now is just ridiculous. I don't understand how they can like get people to do like these trial shifts or do these group interviews that take a full day to do. It's honestly it's just ridiculous. It really is. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. That's one of my biggest things. And especially with like all the before you even get to any interviews, you have to do them stupid quizzes as well because it's now all automated. And if you don't get like a specific percentage or you don't answer some questions correct, you don't even get through to the next part. It's honestly it's ridiculous. Still here, just dug out my little bag of ogres. I'm currently cleaning off the old paint. Nice. What are you actually using to clean off the old paint? Do you use isopropyl alcohol? That is what I use for mine. That ain't optimal. That is not optimal. Yeah, I think it's just really unfair. But I understand why they want it in a specific, like, why they do it. Because obviously it saves them time if they don't have to then, like, go through all these different questionnaires of people filling them out and stuff. And if people don't hit specific, like, results on these questionnaires or tests. But at the same time, it's like, you could be, like, the perfect fit and you wouldn't get the job because you failed one of those tests, and they've just lost out on a specific, like, that specific person, which kind of sucks, but it does save them a lot of time in the long run. Because I doubt that will be the case in most things. But I mean, just a retail job is not, honestly, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. It's quite ridiculous. It's not anything to like sort of demand that sort of. I guess because retail jobs are like fully accessible to everyone. I guess that's why they have all this extra stuff in place, because they probably get so many applications. But it's just ridiculous at this point. Yes, isopropyl alcohol. That is the one. Have you ever heard of? There was something else that I got told to try use. I can't remember the name, so I don't even know why I'm saying this. But there's another thing that is apparently very, very good for getting off old paint, which I've never tried, but I really want to. I don't think I'm gonna remember the name off the top of my head, but if I remember it in like the next couple of days, I'll see if I can find it out. So I find when I use isopropyl alcohol, it's very well, yeah, it doesn't smell the best, and I can't really use it in here anymore. Because I used to have a garage, but now I obviously don't, because I'm living in a flat, and I don't really want to be having that about. But I do still use white spirit here and there if I'm working with like oil paints and stuff. I can't get a job without employment history, but I can't get. Yeah, that's the. It sucks, honestly. It really does. It's one of those things where you gotta know people. So if you don't really know anyone, so I got when I started working. So I'm 29 now, but I actually started working when I was super young. I think I started working like before I was 13. I got a job in a bakery as a cleaner, and it was only because my parents actually knew the owner, and they were like, "Oh, can you get him a job?" So they gave me like it was a very small job. I'd done like 4 hours on a weekend, and I earned, I think it was like £3 something, £3.27 an hour, which is absolutely ridiculous. Is basically, I wasted my younger years just working, even though I didn't have to, and I would much rather have not worked, because all my friends were out playing at the park and stuff, and I was just sitting there on a Saturday, because it was on a Saturday, like going into the afternoon, and yeah, it just wasn't fun. So I had that, and then for my second like main proper job, I worked at Morrison's for 4 years while I went to uni and stuff. And I actually managed to get the job because I knew the person who was hiring. Well, my best friend knew the person that was hiring, and then he put in a word for me. And that's basically how I got my jobs. But I actually got a job in the bakery as well, because obviously I had experience in the bakery from when I was super young. So I'm kind of lucky in that sense, but it is ridiculous how they don't give anyone a chance because you don't have experience. It's exactly the same with like web development. People who hire like web developers and stuff, they want you to have like years and years of experience in like specific languages, but being realistic, no one's going to have that much experience in them sort of languages unless you are like very old, or yeah, for like the specific roles what they hire for as well, it's just unrealistic. But it's not just in retail, I think it's in everything, in every sort of sector and industry. It kind of sucks, like this whole job system. And I don't know if you're on like LinkedIn and stuff, but that is also super toxic on there. It's not good. Like just the amount of people who like put stuff on there is just it's not worth it in my opinion, looking at any of that. But obviously you've got to work, you need money. Unless you make your own business. How old are you? Because you honestly, you don't, if you're like fairly young, you don't really need to worry about it too much. It will definitely help getting a job, but you can easily get by without one. And you can easily make money on the side just doing like little side hustles. You don't need to have like an actual part-time job. Like if you're good enough, you could even do like some like painting and stuff like that, some like freelance painting. I did it for like half a year for a while, but I actually had a full-time job at the same time. I just wanted to try it and give it a go, and I made like a fair amount of money off it, and I think I could have lived off of it if I wanted to. But for the majority of things, like people only really want like army painting done, so you don't really need to like be that good of a painter. Obviously, people want like fairly good paint jobs, but have you ever thought about joining unemployment agency that would be 22? Yeah, I know the feeling of not wanting to do your own business. I thought about like doing your own business, but there's so much to think about, and if you're working for yourself, it's a huge thing. But yeah, there are a lot, like Rick just mentioned, there are a lot of like agencies, and there are recruiters about. But obviously, recruiters want to just try get you because they want to get their commissions and stuff like that. I've had a few of them contact me, which has been fun. But I mean, at the end of the day, if they get you a job, they can get you a job. But I don't know, I'm not really sure like how good like job centers are and stuff like that. But I feel like they're probably help. They can obviously help you with like interviews, I imagine. But I think one of the main reasons why I actually started doing commission painting is because I wanted to paint just other things, and there are a lot of models that I painted which I would never paint in my life, just because I wouldn't even known they existed. Like I was painting some like just 3D printed. Like, I painted a lot of 3D printed stuff off of Etsy. So it's just nice just to get like a variety if that's what you wanted, and then you get paid for it too. So it's not obviously too bad. The only thing that sucks is well, especially for me, what I found is I was spending so much time on other people's stuff that I was not actually spending any time on my stuff. And obviously, because like turning a hobby into a job is kind of something that I don't recommend doing, just because it sort of brings like it removes the joy of doing it. So I get eliminated round 1. Yeah, that sucks. Honestly, that's such a bad feeling. But it is just a numbers game. At the end of the day, you just got to keep applying to everything. That's the way I sort of see it. Just apply to absolutely everything, and you'll eventually get somewhere. But them tests are... I think I always used to fail at them tests. I remember I applied to be like a sales assistant at Dunelm. And oh my god, they wanted like a group session, a group interview, and then they also wanted an interview after that. But the group interview was a whole day, and I was just not having that. Like I was saying earlier, it's just ridiculous. Like the amount of commitment that they want from you just to get a job as a sales assistant kind of thing, just to work on some tills. I don't think it's acceptable, to be honest. I think it's kind of ridiculous. I don't feel like it should be that way. But what are you gonna do? Let's see how much battery I've got on this. Potentially change it over. I'm just gonna quickly change the battery of my camera. It is now on red. Where's my other battery? I don't know where I put my others. Yeah, that battery's feeling real warm. Is it back on? There we go. Nope. Yeah. Nope. Think. How did I have it before? Yeah, no, yeah, honestly, it sucks. I got friends who have like ADHD and other things, and they find it hard to get jobs. It really does suck. Like, this whole job market is just trash right now. And I think it has been for a very long time. I know definitely after COVID, that was terrible trying to find a job. But luckily, I have you thought about, so one of the things that I done in my spare time, I learned like coding, and that's how I became like a web developer. I got quite a good job doing that for an agency, so it could be like a possibility if you're into that kind of thing. I like quite technical things, so that was definitely a route that I really enjoyed doing, and it is a lot of fun coding. That's whether you like computers and stuff, but or being like, have you thought about like apprenticeships? I know doing an apprenticeship is kind of sucks. It sucks for like the first however many years you got to do the apprenticeship for, but you can get some pretty good damn paying apprenticeships. Obviously, I know you said that you wanted to just do retail work, but I mean, you probably heard all this stuff already, but yeah. I looked into like IT apprenticeships. Some of them can pay up to like almost 20 grand just for an apprenticeship, which is pretty good. Like it's obviously not the best wage, but you are obviously only an apprentice at that point. But some of those can actually be quite difficult to get onto as well. But like I said, it's either that, you just keep applying to jobs and maybe do like learn something on the side. So for me, it was obviously coding. So I just taught myself to code. Managed to do I didn't actually do a portfolio, but I managed to get a job in it. And there are places that do, if you have like any saved money, there's courses or like boot camps, things like that might be beneficial to you, where you can like get a guaranteed job interview at the end of it. But again, it's the thing what I like about like IT and like coding and stuff, although they're going down fairly quickly in terms of like remote work. I was a remote worker, but since quitting my job, I haven't had a look, because there's a couple of other people that have been quitting their job as well, like a couple of my friends, so I'm trying to help them find a job. But the remote job market is definitely dwindling. It kind of sucks actually, because working remote is so good. How long have I been streaming for? I have no idea. Almost 2 hours. I'm gonna probably finish this one and then I'll probably finish the stream, to be honest. And then I'm gonna test out my new webcam and see if this works, because my DSLR is getting fairly warm. When I took out the battery just a second ago, it was feeling pretty hot, so I kind of want to try it out as soon as possible. But then I will be back again tomorrow to stream, and I'll be continuing these. As I mentioned, I need to get as many as I can painted up, or just at least the base coats and the base colors down even. Get some solid painting sessions in, and hopefully with the new webcam I can stream for a bit longer. So now I need to go charge these batteries again once I'm done. With Indeed, I say I want to have a job directly in the town I live. Move to Dubai. Yeah. Nah, I wouldn't believe that, going to Dubai. If you actually, there's a one quite big thing which I know is done quite a lot. One of my friends done it. Well, he used to be my friend. I don't really speak to him anymore, but my parents still speak to his parents and like see how he is and stuff. He actually went to a different country and taught language. So he actually went to Japan and taught English there, and he didn't have like any qualifications for it. He just done like one of these, I don't know what it's called, but I know you can do it in like several other countries as well. I'm pretty sure you can do it in like China and stuff too, and go like teach English without needing to be like an English teacher. I don't know if you need to have like any like GCSEs or any sort of like bachelor's or master's or anything for it. I don't think so, from what I know, but I don't really know too much about it, so probably not the best person to speak on it. But that's just another like little option that you could think about. But honestly, if you are really struggling for something, I would definitely just try learn a new skill. Yeah, no, Japan is notorious for working like long days, and yeah, it would be super hard. But yeah. I definitely feel like to teach someone something, you've got to have like a specific mindset. For me, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm the best teacher. I definitely, if I know what I'm talking about, then I could. I guess I do it on here through tutorials and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit different. Yeah, their whole like rules. I don't know how much about Japan you know, but they've got like a lot of like, not expectations, but just things like unspoken rules there on how they act and do things. Which personally, I really like Japan, and I want to go visit there soon. But there definitely is a lot of rules there that just a lot of things that they don't really talk about. Obviously, you see it like if you look on YouTube, there'll be like loads of different videos saying like I don't know, people like breaking the rules. I know there's like a lot of people that prank and go there, which is really stupid. But they do have a lot of things going on over there. I thought I was going to get to the metallics today, but I don't think I am. It's fine though. I think I'll make a start on the metallics tomorrow, and then I'll make a start on the Great Moor Pot, or whatever it's called. The terrain piece. I'm excited to do some OSL and stuff. I know enough to know that I would only do that. Yeah, I think that's the same with me. I thought about going out there to live, but I've obviously never been there, so that would be a stupid thing to even do, really. Just go live there without actually being there. But I guess you've got to be there to, or like live there for a while to actually understand like how it is over there. One of my friends actually went out there and done like some martial arts training, and he was out there for like 6 months, and he said he absolutely loved it there. But it'd be definitely something I'd love to do. But like I said, hopefully I'm gonna go there soon. Just need to get it booked. Damn, this didn't glue together very well. Got a gap on the wrist and arm. But it's fine. Just gonna go over his hand a bit more. I know. Oh, I just read that bit. Yeah. Nah, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Yeah, I watch anime, and I've learned quite a bit of Japanese, and I know they've got so many different like ways to say things, and it's so much and so complex. But to be honest, from what I've heard, from friends that have traveled over there and gone over there, like if you do say like the wrong thing, I guess this is a tourist situation. Obviously, if you try to speak Japanese to Japanese people, they won't care if you mess up. Like they'll be excited that you're even trying. So I guess, yeah, for like tourists and stuff, if you are over there, it doesn't really matter that much if you do mess up or say like the wrong sort of way of saying something, or you forget like a specific piece of a phrase. I don't think they would really mind that much. But yeah, going over there, getting arrested doesn't sound like the best idea. I'd hate to be arrested I've never even been arrested here. I don't plan on getting arrested here, but getting arrested in a different country, that just sounds terrible. That sounds like such a bad time. What am I doing now? I've done all the skin, or as much of the skin as I want to. Quickly go over this guy again. Some of these gaps which I've missed. Need to do some red again. Quickly clean up a bit of the red. And then I'm going to be moving on to the metallics, I think. But I might, like I said, I'm probably going to stop streaming in just a second. I'm just going to quickly clean up the reds. And then clean up this. fine. Go to this guy again. I think I need to do this guy's red again. Make it a little bit brighter because it's fairly dark right now. Need to zoom in a bit. Do that top part. I don't know why I'm still using this large brush. It is a bit excessive for what I'm trying to do right now. Definitely looks better though. Getting some paint down, they actually look like actual models now. Love to see it. Love to see it and come into life a bit more. So I got a game next week against some Chaos and some Orcs. So some Slaves to Darkness. One of my friends has an army of them. I think he's got about 2,000 points. I've got 2,000 points of Ogres, so I'm going to be playing against 1,000 points of Orcs and 1,000 points of Slaves to Darkness. I don't know why, we've only got a couple of us that actually collect AOS. We do have a bigger group, but we're just playing with us at the moment. And then might throw it into the bigger chat to ask if anyone else wants to play. But for now we just want to keep it to the three of us. So I said I'll do, for this turn, I'll do 2,000 points. And then someone else can do 2,000 points later on if they wanted to, or once they get more models. But I'm excited to play. Like I said, I haven't actually played since September of last year, which was a long time ago now. And overall, I think I've only played like 3 games of AOS. 1 game of the new version of AOS, which I don't actually think anything's really changed from what I remember. I think there are some changes, but I don't know how much. I need to go over the rules again, I think. But my friends have played since, so they're more up to date on the rules. So I don't really need to worry that much about it. Just taking my time here, just because I'm off the camera again. Yeah, I'm just taking my time because I now obviously got all the base coats down. Still doesn't matter too much if I go over, because I can just go over with the base color, but I kind of don't really want to be doing that again. But I knew I was going to have to come back to the red, so that's why I wasn't very careful with the skin tone. So I'll just whack it on just to try to get it down quick, but it's actually taking me ages just to do this. Although I have been doing some other stuff anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. What else? We've got this guy to do, and then 2 others. That shouldn't take too long. It will likely be roughly around like the same time, probably, maybe like a bit earlier. I want to try stream a bit earlier, like roughly 12, but I mean, it's going to be anywhere from like 12 till 2. But yeah, thank you for joining anyway. I appreciate it, Rick. Hopefully I'll get to speak to you tomorrow. But enjoy the rest of your day. No worries. See you later. Oh, damn it. Messed up. It's fine though. Okay, I think I am just about done with this now. I've just gone over the red again. Now I'm gonna have to clean it up again. That's so annoying. Time to go to the back and forth of going between base coats. But I am basically done for today. Streaming. I'm gonna obviously try switch up my camera for a web camera instead of using this big old DSLR. Hopefully that should go through and work like better than using a DSLR, because I'm just afraid that my camera is going to break on me and just burn out. But I am looking to stream like in the future from Wednesdays to Saturdays. I haven't actually updated my stream slides just yet, but I'm going to put in the description on what times that I'm going to stream for. So hopefully I'll see you around. What else I was going to say? Yeah, if you did like the stream, then please give it a like. Obviously, if you're new to the stream, or if you're new to the channel, give it a subscribe. If you like any of my videos and you like the stream, that will help me out tremendously. And yeah, I'm going to go see if I can fix up this camera and get it to work and see how it looks on the stream. So I'll be about tomorrow, probably anywhere from, like I previously mentioned, 12 till roughly like 2. That's when I'm going to start streaming, and then I can stream for a lot longer as I'm going to be using a web camera. Well, I hope I can stream longer. Hopefully this works. I don't know, but we will see. But anyway, I'll speak to everyone later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.